Wow, it was a tree.
1/1000th of a percent.
Didn't see them get to talk less.
No.
No, it was worse. It was worse.
He wasn't there. Wasn't here.
You would just see Jim, you know,
Yes.
looking out.
I know, yeah, I know.
He's talking about those villas we approved behind Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
That's
No.
what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yep, that's what.
Alex,
I heard about it.
let the other 100 people in.
Yeah.
What are the people? They- We're live.
On my way in.
We're live.
They're still, they're still lined up waiting to get through the metal detector.
Is Rick coming?
Are they?
So Rick,
I was gonna say,
Oh, you're ready.
I unlocked it.
I didn't think
Can I
so.
see your sheet?
the only section 8 that I'm aware
We're going to call the meeting to order. Planning Commission, Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. Roll call, please.
Yeah, that's a maybe.
Mayor Safarian,
I am here.
Mr. Olive,
Here.
Mr. Frieslar,
Here.
Mr. Orovitz,
No.
Chairman Winkowski.
Here. As you can see, Mr. Orovitz is not here. For those of you that have something before the Plan Commission, you need 3 votes. Because Mr. Orovitz is not here, you still need 3 votes. More than likely, and I anticipate in Mr. Meyer's case that I will be recusing myself. So you need those 3 votes. So if we're not going to get them, and I don't know how that's going to come out, we will advise you of that before we take a vote, so we can pull it and make sure we have a full.
You'll have the option.
You'll have the option to pull it for a month to do it. But because I've represented everybody sitting at the front row there, that there's no way I can vote in. So just advise
I don't
you.
anticipate a problem.
we'll tackle that once it gets here.
Correct. Looking for approval of the May 18th, 2021 regular meeting minutes.
So moved.
Looking
It's
for a
already-
second.
it's already-
Second.
Who was that?
You don't
Mayor
have to-
Safarian
You don't have to. move
moved.
to it.
On the motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none opposed, the motion is carried and the minutes of the May 28th, 2021 meeting are approved. The first matter before us is Z 811-21 zoning change from R1 low density residential district to A1 agricultural district on a portion of the property described as 6315 Corduroy Road, parcel number 44-38497. The owner applicant is John Myers. Mr. Gilmore.
Well, I don't have too much to add to that, only the procedure. It comes to the Plan Commission for recommendation, and then final approval will be at City Council. The project review felt that there would be no impact to the neighboring properties.
Mr. Myers, do you have anything to say?
That's you, Mr.
Yeah.
Tell them why. Yeah.
So the big reason that we would like to change. the
Introduce
zoning-
yourself first, please.
Oh, John Myers,
Your
the
address.
owner of this parcel at 6315 Corduroy. Big reason we want to change this is we are breeding some cows to have our own from start to finish, and we're offering them straight to the consumer. So it's local, home-raised beef. Just right now, we're only doing 5 to 10, real small. We don't have hopes of being nothing massive, just small scale.
Can you go a little bigger than that, Jim? For Alex? No, the other way. I'm sorry, smaller.
Just scan out, zoom out.
I was gonna say, can't make it any smaller.
My discussions with the family and all of that is that many of these parcels are a mixed combination of ag and residential, R1 and agricultural zoned, both to the south and to the north and to what would be the east. The consistency over there seems to be lacking sometimes.
Well, I noticed that there are houses that are on majority of the properties, but they're all being farmed.
Mhm.
Okay. So that they've, in my, and Bill can help me with this, but I believe they've always been farmed. Okay. So, so they're what they call a non-conforming use, which is farming, so they're allowed to farm. Okay. I think that the applicant really wants to nail down that it is a farm and change the zone.
I guess it's my turn. Bill Myers. I am the father of the applicant. And I guess the way we're looking at this is, as he said, there's been a change in the consumer base where people are really interested in local food. They really like the ability. He has customers that literally come out, look at the animal that they're going to plan their sustenance for their family with, to bring their children to look at it. So for his lack, or not lack, but security to be able to do this at his place. We already do it at the farm. He already brings them over there in the summertime to pasture. So there's really no change to the neighborhood whatsoever from what's already been going on. The reason we want to do this is, as he makes more investments to be able to do this better and sustain it longer, the last thing we want is someone to move across the street, find out that doesn't like animals or doesn't like farming, and find out that it's zoned R1 and, oh, they're not supposed to have animals, and come file a complaint to where we have to defend ourselves that, well, we've been doing this before. It's been a farm for 140, ever since the township's been created, it's been farmed. So there's really no change in the activity at the property. It just makes it cleaner so that we don't have to worry about frivolous things that we have to come defend ourselves. And I look at this from my standpoint that, this is the 5th generation. If they've found a niche that they can use in agriculture to keep the next generation coming forward and continuing the business today, that's unheard of. I mean, the average age of a farmer today is 62 years old. So I'm only 60. I'm still a young farmer. But it says something about the occupation that if we don't have the younger generation coming into it, it gets worrisome. So I just want to do what I can do to help protect the next generation, to let them be able to do whatever they have to do in agriculture to continue.
Okay, thank you. Gentlemen, are you here for this?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Chris Miller's my name. I'm the guy that lives across the street from him. 6320 Corduroy is mine. Moved into Oregon approximately just here under a year ago, and moved from the city of Toledo out here to get out a little bit. I think John was a little afraid that the guy that lives across the street from him might be the guy that's not embraces the outdoors, embraces farming, all that kind of stuff. And it's been just the opposite. We've become very good friends. I can firsthand speak of John, letting me utilize some of the things from the farm, both recreational and for eggs and that type of thing too. So he's been a great guy. So I can firsthand speak of his character, of John and the kind of guy he is. And from talking with him about this, his intentions aren't to do just what John's dad just said. Also, is to pass it along to the next generation. To speak further on John's character, I myself, back in late December, had a very bad case of COVID. Knowing John had some experience in the medical history, I was feeling really ill one day, came over, he said, "You got to get to the hospital now." Had I not been rushed to the hospital that night, I might have not made it the next day. I had a 20% chance of living that day. So John has been obviously a huge proponent of helping me be where I'm at today, standing 6 feet above, and I have done nothing but the utmost things to say about John and his character. So.
Thank you. You gentlemen here for the next one? Okay. Seeing no one further, any questions from the panel?
Yeah, how many acres is that parcel, do you know? 4 acres? 40. And what do you predict or think the maximum amount of animals you'll have? Do you have a number possibly? I'm sorry.
25, 30.
25.
in the future.
How about other animals? Sheep? No sheep or any other animals? Pigs, nothing else? No, okay.
We do raise pigs. We raise like, he raises like, once again, it's the same thing. 6, 8 pigs a year over the other farm, just for people that say, hey, I want a hog come fall. Blah, blah. So, you know, he tailors it to that, but there would never be pigs there.
And one for the fall party, right? Anything, gentlemen?
Make a motion.
I would entertain a motion.
Wait a minute, you gotta close the public hearing
That's
first.
what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing no one in opposition, the public hearing is closed. The floor is open for a motion on approval.
Okay. I make a motion for approval of Z 811-21.
Second.
And I am recusing, so roll, please.
Mr. Olive,
Yes.
Mr. Vrieslar,
Yes.
Mayor Safarian.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Your lawyer did a hell of a job.
I know, I might have to give him a raise.
Bill, about 1839 when it became Oregon Township.
And I have a map from 1840 something that shows.
Save
that
one for me, okay?
section.
Thanks on me.
Thank you, guys.
The last one tonight is ST 1544-21, split transfer for a variance on width to depth
I've had a
in
few
an
pigs.
A1 agricultural zone district on the property described as parcel number 44-03831. The location is 940 North Wind Road. The applicant is Asphalt Materials Incorporated. Mr. Gilmore.
Yes, the applicant is asking for a split. It is agricultural property. It sits next to industrial parcel. There's also a special use that's involved in this land, which is going to be split. The special use is staying with the industrial side. And they need a width of depth, which, or width of depth is 3.5 to 1, so they exceed that. So that's why we're here.
Now refresh my memory, didn't the little house that's down there in the bottom left-hand corner, wasn't some of that property owned by that little house, or am I
Well,
thinking of a
I
different
believe
area?
if
And
I'm
we
not
did
mistaken-
something with that.
Right. I believe the house split off and gave that, or didn't give. It was, the whole parcel was purchased, the remaining parcel, the size of the house was purchased by Asphalt Materials. Asphalt Materials then asked for a storage yard for tractor trucks.
That's what it was.
With a fence around it, and we were here for that.
Okay, so we have seen this property before us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Recently in the past,
Yeah, last.
5 years, last 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
It just looked familiar.
So there, think of that parcel that was under the special use remains with Asphalt Materials. They're splitting off the rest of it. So see how it jogs between the house and
Mhm.
And I just want the applicant to know that it's zone ag at this time, so I don't know what the intended use will be, but I just want.
Gentlemen, someone?
I'm John Hunt, and I reside when I'm in the area at 8844 North Wind Road. I own a transportation company. I work a lot with AMI, and I generally will keep maybe 10 power units parked in that yard that they did build. Barbara Fox approached me, wanted to know if I was interested in buying the property after AMI had bought whatever it is they bought. And I said, sure, I would love to have that to not only for that reason, but because of the great fishing. Now, I actually, my home address is Bad Axe, Michigan. So I'm not very far from Saginaw Bay or Lake Huron, but Lake Erie has some great walleye fishing as well. And then I do spend a fair amount of time in Sarasota, Florida during the winter. But once we looked at it and we agreed on the price, there was part of the property that actually there was a little bit of the one building that I'd like to kind of rehab that's in the back, put different siding on, different stuff just to make it look better and to preserve it. Is actually, I'm not sure that there's any more than a foot away from their property line. And the one piece that stretches out on the back may actually be on AMI's property line. I also have a coach that I do travel in. I would like to, if I'm heading to Florida, I may use that to come down and then fly out of Metro Airport because it's a lot closer than 3.5 hours away up in Bad Axe, 45 minutes. So the berm, what they were concerned about was having an easement, and I said I had no problem with an easement, but I also have a tree farm, and I grow a lot of trees, and I have a 65-inch Big John tree spade, and I have a 50-inch Vermeer. But I said I'd like to do something with that berm. Just having that berm up there, I thought it should have some trees, maybe some wildflowers or something on it to make it look better. And AMI is all for it, but they said as long as they have it, they can't let me on it. So the whole thing came down is I would like to maybe have at some time put another little building up to put a 25-foot boat in to the other side, but there isn't much there, and there's a lot of weeds. There's a lot of stuff on the other side and trees that need to go. There's just things that need to be done on property that's not mine. And I'd like to improve it. I want to move ahead and re-side the house and do some other things to it to improve it as well as at some point, I've been asking if I could get hooked up to the city sewer because apparently it stubs right there, but I've never gotten an answer. I think COVID had a lot to do with it again this time where everything just got goofed up. So I'm willing to buy the property simply for my use. And not to do anything industrial, not to do anything on that order, but to improve the looks and improve the area. There's a lot of nice homes coming in to the south of there. And it's a beautiful old farmhouse. And it needs to be preserved and treated as such.
Do you own that house that's in?
I own the house.
You own the house,
Yes.
okay. That's where
Bucky-
we were both confused on that.
AMI could not be here. Representative Bucky is up in northern Michigan doing rounds, meeting customers. And he asked if I was in the area, if I could be here. So I said, I am happen to be in the area. So I said, yes, I would attend.
And it's all agriculture anyway, right? Even though there's a house on it.
Yeah, and you can have a single-family house on it. I have a.
The ag is gonna limit him from what he can do.
Well, I have a question,
Okay.
if I may.
Okay. Are you going to combine this land with the house?
That's my intention
Oh,
would
good.
be to combine it. I didn't want a single split because it doesn't, to combine it to the house land is the only logical.
Well, and the reason I ask you that is, once you combine it with a house, if you wanted to put up an accessory building, it would allow you to do that, okay?
Versus separate.
Right. Unless, and I have to qualify that, unless you were putting up a building for agricultural use, you could do that also without combining it.
Yeah, the closest thing I am to agriculture is a 70-acre tree farm.
But that's still ag. so-
No, it is.
And let me make this comment if it's clear. By combining those two parcels, that parcel would become less non-conforming.
Correct. I think that's correct.
That's a kind of a double negative, but.
That's
it would-
true.
it
As
would
far as the
be-
width, the depth,
The width to depth.
Yeah.
would
It'd be less- be
would-
less-
Would be less.
less.
Than it is what we're
Right.
approving today. So
Right.
we would actually encourage the combination of those two parcels.
I'm not sure how, I've been a planning commissioner for 40 years in our township. However, it's two different states. I'm not sure how you handle splits here. But I would just assume that was all one parcel when we were done for
As would we.
taxation purposes.
I believe.
yes,
Plus,
and
it would
we,
give you more options with the house. You would then have an option to put an accessory building on the property without even us questioning it at that point.
and it's an easy procedure. You just fill out a form down our office and we combine those lots, so.
Very good. Any
Okay.
other questions of me?
I don't think so. Mayor?
Mr. Chairman, I was gonna say, I was trying to, coming up with something in my mind to add a condition that this would be approved, with, the split being granted right here today. I'm guessing we could probably do it. I just don't have the words in my head.
With a combination.
Yeah.
Combining.
Well, if you want it to be combined with the house, I think just make that, it's a split combo, we call it. Is so you split it and combine it with the house parcel. Is
I
that,
mean-
is that what you're asking?
To do it right now here
Well,
today
so
is what
you
I'm
would
saying.
approve this request subject to combining with the home?
Right,
With the condition that the lot is
combined
combined.
Yeah.
with the house lot.
Yeah.
the parcel number on the house lot?
It is.
I used to have papers, but somebody named Scott stole.
Well, you got better, you're younger and you got better eyes than I do.
Well, we simply can do that, but we still, the county still needs that split transfer form from us.
Yeah.
But
you said it.
it's no brainer though.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do that.
I see it, yeah.
There's a parcel number.
I have it.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, we can do that here. Now,
Yeah, just.
Yeah, if it could be done now, fine. If there's other paperwork that needs to be filled out.
just have to still fill that paperwork out.
Yeah.
After this is done.
So we're,
Whatever order you need to do it in, it's fine.
Yes.
okay, I would just make it a condition that you approve the split as long as it's combined with that parcel where the house is, whatever that parcel number is.
Perfect.
Okay? We can, and then we can take care of that tomorrow. Okay, the whole thing.
Any other questions from the panel?
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second?
All in favor of closing the public hearing?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none opposed. Public hearing is closed. I will, since I have the parcel number right in front of me, I will make a motion. I will move to approve ST 1544-21 upon the only condition that this parcel, which is parcel 44-03831, would ultimately be combined with parcel number 44032827, which is the parcel with the house on it.
Your eyes are better than mine.
Second?
Roll, please.
Chairman Winkowski,
Yes.
Mr. Vrieslar,
Yes.
Mayor Safarian,
Yes.
Mr. Olive.
Yes.
Thank you. Good luck,
Thank
gentlemen. Good luck with that.
Hey, Mayor.
Seeing no other matters before the committee, I will adjourn.
Cool. Thank you.
Were you there for the whole meeting?
I left when the woman who talked